Hi, folks. Welcome to another Rockposer Chats. This time talking to French-Canadian heavy metalers Sword. In fact, one of the gentlemen has been a previous guest when I did the old radio show, Mr. Rick Hughes. But welcome to Rick, and also welcome to Mike Plant. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we better start off by saying the new album is out on November the 25th on Massacre Records. What sparked you guys to release a new album after, well, let's face it, quite a while?
Well, we did a couple of reunion shows back in 2011, 2012, and there was a very good reaction from people that came to see us. And we decided to open a Facebook page, a Sword Facebook page, and after that we got invited to do a festival out in Germany, which was very cool as well. And there was a lot of people on our Facebook page that one question that always came back is, are you guys going to release some new material?
Sure.
Yeah, so it was decided that, we would.
Is this all new material, or is some of it sort of leftovers from previous albums?
You could say that. You could say it was leftovers, because Rick one day came over to my house with a box of cassettes. And I proceeded to put all those tracks in my computer and rework them as it is, and just as a gift for the guys. Hey, you remember these songs that we never used?
Sure.
And when it was decided to make an album, we first started had the idea of just putting out an EP with 3 songs. So we worked on that, and that turned into a full album, and we went back and worked on more. But the thing is, there was some good and some bad with the old stuff. So we just took what was good about it, and we reworked around it. For instance, Rick worked on a lot of he took his old guide vocals and reworked them quite a bit. As for the music,
I was going to say, Rick, you've certainly lost nothing in the vocal department, unlike some singers we probably shouldn't mention. But I mean, to say, you guys are just, well, it's just like turning the clock back. You're just sounding as great as you did back when those first 2 albums came out.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, because for a singer, that's the hardest part, you know.
Sure.
The hardest part is growing older, because as you do so, your voice tends to change, you know, if you're not careful about it. So I was very, very, very careful for the last 20 years. I took very good care of my voice, because that's my main tool.
Sure.
But let's just say that I love singing. So this is like first thing in my life is singing.
Well, I mean, seeing your posts on Facebook, I mean, you always seem to be a very busy guy singing wise. You always seem to be involved in lots of different projects.
Well, that's it. If to stay in shape, you have to keep moving, you know, you have to keep doing stuff and pick and choose, you know, to make sure that what you do doesn't interfere with Sword, doesn't interfere with my vocal abilities, you know. So yeah, I keep busy, but I pick and choose.
I guess you guys must be really pleased with the reactions to the new album. Certainly, I say I absolutely love it. Said so in the review, and seeing other reviews online, I haven't seen anything slightly negative towards this release.
Not yet. I'm sure there will be some people who don't like it, but hey, you can't please them all, can you?
No, but it seems to be, I mean, it seems to be your fans just didn't disappear. I mean, they seem to be as enthusiastic as ever. I mean, as I say, I'm as guilty as the rest of them. Was absolutely thrilled when I heard there was a new album coming out. Yeah, it's one of the bands that has always stuck in my mind, going back to when I first saw you guys supporting Motorhead at Hands with Odeon, which of course you then released as the live album back in 2016, which was a real treat. I'd never heard of you guys at the time. I was going to see Motorhead, I must admit, and wow, you guys just blew everyone else off the stage. Mind you, the other support band was a bit of a bizarre choice, if I remember rightly. Well,
Yes.
on acid, I seem to remember, which sort of didn't really fit with you guys or Motorhead at all.
It was a promoter's choice at that time, if I remember well.
Okay.
The promoter is the promoter that decided on that bill, but it went okay. I remember when we first did the first gig at the Hammersmith with Motorhead. They were on the bill, and we had just toured like 30 shows with Motorhead, and we were under Lemmy's wing. Let's just say that. So when we got to the Hammersmith, the promoter at that time wanted to put that band before Motorhead and Sword first. So we went to Lemmy's dressing room and we said, Lemmy, come on, we've been with you for 30 shows. Why isn't it Sword that's opening for Motorhead? He said, what? It's not Sword that's opening for Motorhead? I said, no, they've changed the bill around. So Lemmy did his magic, and we went back opening for Motorhead that night.
I say it was just a fantastic gig. I mean, I went straight out and bought Metalized from the used to be a little record shop literally around the corner from Hands with Odeon. Alas, long since gone now, and bought Metalized. And I'll be honest with you, it's still one of my favourite albums. I listen to it on a regular basis. It's taken a beating. One of the things when the new album 3, when I first heard it, I was a bit apprehensive, because I was already to think, great, this is going to be a Sword album. And part of me was sort of thinking, is it going to measure up to Metalize and Sweet Dreams? You know, I was nervous. Thank goodness it measured up.
I like that. I like that because I like the fact that you said that you were a bit nervous, because that shows that you're a real true fan. Right there, just by saying that. Well, one thing's for sure is that the album is the brainchild of Mike. Mike took it upon himself to make it sound the way it sounds. So yeah, I worked a lot on my vocals but musically, I'm gonna leave the floor to Mike right now.
Well, it sounds like vintage Sword. It cannot sound like anybody else. It's us. So it's gonna sound like us. But technology and everything makes it, I don't know, sound better.
Well, I was going to say, I said in my review of the album, I mean, it does sound like classic Sword, but considering it's, as you said, it's older material, it does sound like a natural progression. It does sound like Sword, but it sounds a much fresher sound, if that makes sense.
Yes, but that's because of how we recorded it now, and we worked very hard. We've always worked very hard to go in the studio very well prepared.
Right.
Very seldom do we change something once we're in the studio, music-wise. There can be things that are gonna change vocally, because you can do that, because it's the last thing you do is vocals and guitar solos. But as far as the basic tracks of arrangements and rhythm, bass, drum, guitar, it's worked out very
meticulously
before we go into the studio.
Well,
and
Sorry, go on,
Dan,
Rick.
I just want to add that yes, it is the blueprint was taken from old cassette, and we took some old ideas, but we turned it on upside its head. You know, it's some old stuff, but it's combined with very, very new stuff, new riff that might, let's say we had a great idea for a song and it was going somewhere. Well, 20 years later, the song is still, it started the same way, but it doesn't go in the same direction that it went 20 years ago or 30 years ago, because Mike had better ideas, and you know, all that time had passed by. Same goes with the vocal. We rewrote all the lyrics, melodies. I had to turn them to, you know, to make sure that they were up to par with the music. So it is old material, but it's a mixture of old and new.
I guess the real issue, I don't know if that's the right word, for a lot of bands is when they bring something out new, you've always got that percentage of fans who want it to sound a particular way, and bands obviously want to progress and maybe change direction slightly. And, you know, is there always that danger you're going to alienate certain fans, or are you going to create new fans? I mean, I guess it's a bit of a balancing act.
Yes, it is. Like I was saying earlier, you can't please everybody, but we're going to follow our instincts.
Yeah.
And we're going to please ourselves first.
So I guess sorry, go on. Sorry,
so
Mike.
If it's just a matter if we really like it, we just hope people will catch on as well.
Well, of course, if you don't like it, there's not really much point in doing it, is there?
Right. Just because you want to please somebody, or there's none of that, you know.
Well, I guess
if that's good. I guess if it's good enough for us, then it's good enough, you know.
Yeah.
Meaning that if we think that this is the direction Sword should take for a song, then we take it. We don't double check, or we just know that's the direction the song should take, or for that matter, the album.
Yeah. I guess really the obvious next question will be, even though this album's not out for a few days yet, are you going to carry on and release more new material off the back of this?
Who knows?
You're going to play it by ear?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess having a good label behind you helps. I mean, Massacre Records, are certainly a very reputable label in the market for heavy metal. So I guess these guys are giving you a lot of backing.
Yes, they are. They are really helping us out. Rick?
Yes, absolutely. And Dan, thanks for mentioning them, because everybody that we've talked about the album and the release and Massacre Record are very enthusiastic for the fact that we are with Massacre Records. So it just we're happy with that.
Well, it's easy to get on the wrong label, and I've seen it happen with bands, and what should have been a fantastic release has never really taken off just due to poor promotion or whatever. But I mean, obviously I see the promo stuff that comes through to myself, but I mean, they certainly have got behind this release and given it a real push.
Yes.
Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It does mean a lot having you guys back and releasing new old music, whichever way we want to put it. It doesn't really it's great to have some fantastic Sword back, new material to listen to. I know I've got friends of mine who are very impatient to hear the album because I've been rather smug saying, you guys, you wait till you hear this, you're going to absolutely love it.
That's great. That's great. Well, you know what, Dan? I hope we'll see you at the Hammersmith.
That would be a treat if you guys were to come back over. I got to say, that would be a real treat. All I can say is I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, well, so do us. Yeah, we'd really like to go back.
Guys, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for the support.